Do not sign up to HelloFresh if you do not want to be harassed. Since leaving, I have been inundated with calls and texts and letters and fucking emails. They're like a clingy ex that refuses to admit that it's over. I got another call today, and I'm like, HelloFresh again? Look, if I want to go back, I'll go back. I don't need the calls, I don't need the texts, I don't need the emails, I don't need the letters. I'm an adult. If I want to go back, I will choose myself to go back. And then I heard the guy, like, he was obviously like, oh shit. I'm like, sorry, mate. I know you're just doing your job, but can you please remove me from these lists? I don't want to go back. And then he went. Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy because the people calling me and sending me the things and so on and so forth, they're just doing their job. They're not doing anything inherently wrong. They're just doing their job. It's the policy itself. You essentially get harassed by HelloFresh when you stop using them. Now, getting one call after you leave something like this, perfectly reasonable. It's like, yeah, you can get feedback from the customer and you're like, okay, this is how I can improve my business. Fair enough. That's fine. I have no problem with this. The first call I got after I left, it was about a week after I left. I got a call whilst walking the dogs. And whilst I'm walking the dogs along, I'm having a conversation with the guy, basically finding out, you know, why I left. I'm like, well, it's for health and money reasons. I'm trying to lose weight, and HelloFresh is having the opposite effect. You do a minimum of 2 portions per, like, for people. You do not give people single person options. You only give people 2 people options. So I have to buy 2 portions per meal, and going by one portion isn't enough. I'd end up really hungry if I like lived off your food, because it's not enough. Like, even when I was at the height of my health stuff and doing really well with that, I was filling my plates up with veg, with a lot of, you know, fiber and things to keep myself full. I was filling my plate up with veg. I was eating a lot of veg, a lot of spinach, a lot of, you know, aubergine and shit like that to keep me full. But this basically gives you nothing. And then when they do give you veg, a lot of the time it's lettuce. You do get veg other than that, but if it's like if it's a salad, they don't do the actual healthy thing of giving you like spinach or kale or anything like that. They give you lettuce. And lettuce is pointless. Lettuce, I don't even think is healthy. There is nothing in lettuce. It is an absolute waste of time. Lettuce is trash. Like, it can't even beat eating, like, drinking a glass of water. Because the water in it is minute compared to actually just drinking a glass of water. It is better for you to drink a glass of water than to eat lettuce. Lettuce is shite. It is a complete waste of time. Spinach is where you want to go. But, yeah, so sometimes when they had salads, I would replace the lettuce with spinach because it tastes better and it's healthier. But, yeah, so it wasn't working on a health thing. I was gaining weight on it. On top of that, it's just not affordable. It's just not. Like, the value for money just isn't there. Now, the meals I was enjoying. One of the main reasons going on it really was to get recipes that I could then do myself and cater to my own tastes. Well, for Christmas that year, I was gifted this. You can get a book with the recipes in. I didn't know this, but there we go. You can get a book. Let's show you it properly so you can get the thing down if you're curious. You can get a book. If you're just signing up for HelloFresh for the recipes, here it is in one convenient location. Considerably cheaper than what it would cost to get these normally. So, yeah. So if you're signing up for that reason, there's a better alternative. But I did enjoy the food. I think I didn't like some of the stuff they do, like the way they always oil salad. You don't need to oil salad. It's stupid. It's a stupid fucking TV chef kind of thing. If your salad is dry, it is a bad salad. Right? You can add various fruit and veg to it to add moisture and texture to it and flavor to it. You do not need to oil salad. You only need to oil salad if 90% of it is fucking lettuce. Because lettuce is tasteless and it's shite. Which is what their salads were. So if you want to make a good salad, like spinach, pomegranate seeds, cucumber, bell pepper, tomato. There's so many ways, onion. There's so many ways of adding flavor and texture to a salad that makes it really good without sticking a bunch of oil on it. It's a stupid thing to do. It's basically the salad equivalent of the way some people just fill chicken with spice, and it's because culturally they weren't used to quality. They couldn't get quality food, so to hide the flavor, essentially, they just piled it on with spice. And that's what, and then that over time became a norm because, you know, influences from these cultures. It's like, yeah, but the reason why they did that in the first place was to basically make the most of the shit they had. And it's the same thing, in my opinion, with these oily salads. It's because you're using shit ingredients. You don't need to use oil if you're not using shit. But anyway, so since leaving, after that, like that first call, no problem. Absolutely fine. Can't afford it. It's not good for my health. I'm leaving. I might come back in time, you know, because it is nice stuff. But then I got this for Christmas. I'm like, okay, there's no reason. I can just get what I need and do what I want to do. Considerably cheaper as well. So, and then since then, every other week I was getting a call. I've been getting text messages. Recently, I've started getting letters through the post, and obviously the usual emails that you get spammed with that you can unsubscribe to, typically speaking. But I've been just spammed by all fronts, every way they can contact me. I've heard from some people online that eventually they start sending people to your door as well. That is harassment. If you're constantly, like, being bombarded with, come back to our company, that is harassment. I'm sorry, it's outright harassment at this point. Maybe that's not the intention, but that's the result. It is harassment at this point, and, like, it means I'm not going back to them. There's no way in hell I'll ever go back to them, even if I just feel like it for a little bit. There's no way in hell, because, no, what I'm better off doing right now is calling them up, essentially, and telling them to delete my account, because, of course, you can't do it normally. That gives too much power to the customer. Like most websites that you used to be able to delete, more and more companies are doing this thing now, where in order to get your account deleted, you can't do it yourself. You need to phone them up to do it for you. So, yeah. Even quitting the subscriptions in the first place, you need to go through like 4 or 5 pages of, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Look, there's a discount if you stay. Like, yes, I have decided to leave. I am going to leave. And if the more pages you put up asking me, are you sure? Look at all these things you miss out on, huh? Yeah, but I also save a shit ton of money. So, I'm leaving. Are you sure, though? You sure? Because it's good stuff. Are you sure? Yes, I'm leaving. Look at the discount you get if you I am fucking leaving. You know, and then, like, constant messages and constant being connected all the time. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Discounts, discounts, discounts. Are you sure? Hi, I'm with HelloFresh. Discounts, discounts. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes, I'm fucking sure. I don't want to go back. And now, there's no fucking way in hell I'm going back because you have been harassing me since I've left. Seriously, more and more companies are doing this. This has become more of a trendy thing to make it harder for you to leave a subscription. Apparently Photoshop does this if you signed up for their fucking annual thing. Remember when you could just buy the fucking program when you wanted it and have it on your computer? Remember that? No, now you need to go on a subscription. They've done that for a few years ago. Now you need to go on a subscription. Fucking brilliant. They need money every fucking year from you now. Oh, well, now we're going to make it really, really hard for you to cancel subscription. And we're also going to make it really, really easy for you to accidentally sign up to it. That actually happened to me with a service called GoPuff once. I accidentally signed up to the free trial of their fucking service thing. It's like Prime. You know, you pay them so much money a month and you get a bunch of discounts and things, right? Because essentially they make it so the button you need to click for the delivery is a tiny button right under the big sign up to whatever the fuck it's called. And I accidentally clicked the big thing whilst trying to press the little thing one day, didn't notice until all of a sudden I was getting like, I noticed like the next time I used it, like for fuck's sake, thankfully no money came out the bank and I cancelled it. They made it pretty easy to cancel it, but a lot of these companies are using these really shady methods of getting money from you or signing you up to something and praying you don't notice. And then a lot of them, thankfully for GoPuff, it was pretty easy to get out of it. But for a lot of them, it's really fucking difficult to cancel it. And they do not make it obvious. GoPuff didn't make it obvious either. I had to look up online, like, where the fuck I needed to go on the app to get rid of it. Like, they do not make it obvious because they do not want to make it easy for you to remove money from them. So yeah, it's shadier and shadier and shadier and shadier and shadier, and I really don't like it. And yeah, constantly being harassed, constantly being called and text and sent emails to, and having letters through the door, and eventually I'll start getting people, like, if I probably won't get it here where I live. If I live closer to London maybe, or York, or York or some area that people tend to give a shit about, maybe I would get it there. I doubt I'm going to get it here, but yeah, I've just essentially been harassed by them since I left. Now, I understand this happens with other companies as well, but usually it's just an email, and you can unsubscribe from it really easily, and that's fine. Like, usually it's just an email, and it's okay. They've been doing this auto sign up to a fucking email list, like, on websites for years, right? Even if you click, I do not want to receive emails, you will get emails, and you have to manually unsubscribe to them. That thing's been going on for years. It's very, very simple. Just unsubscribe to the email, fine, no problem. But when you're being bombarded on all forms of contact from a company, no, that doesn't win any favors. It's like when, you know, like Raid Shadow Legends, or was it NatureBox, or Audible, or Squarespace, or any of these others that bombard YouTube. And if you watch a fair variety of channels on YouTube, you see the exact same advert worded in the exact same way time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. Like, Raid Shadow Legends was fucking awful, but for it, I'm pretty sure every one of us watching this can recite the Raid Shadow Legends advert word from word, because we've heard it so many fucking times. That does not endear me to your product. That makes me want to never fucking bother with it. The first time I heard a Raid Shadow Legends advert, I did give it a try. Played it for about a week. Hit the point in which you needed to spend money in order to make any progress. Uninstalled it and stopped playing. It was decent for a mobile game, but it was very much a mobile game. And to this day, the only game I've ever played made for mobile that is a good game and is actually a game is probably BitLife and Honkai Star Rail. It's the only ones I can think of. BitLife is a text-based fucking, like, life sim choice game, which is quite fun but simple. And Honkai Star Rail is an actual fucking video game, which I mostly play on computer because it's better. But it is playable on mobile. You don't feel held back by playing it on mobile, but yeah, but anyway, I'm going off tangents at this point. But yeah, whenever you get like these advertisement campaigns where you're bombarded by it over and over and over and over and over again, it makes me not want to use it, because I'm sick of hearing your name. I'm sick of hearing your brand name. I'm sick of hearing your fucking advert all the time, and I don't want anything to do with you. Like, seriously, I hate it. I really, really hate it. Same thing with celebrities as well. Taylor Swift is unfucking avoidable. I do not care about Taylor Swift. I don't hate her or anything like that. I've never even listened to her music. From what I've heard about her music, I imagine I'd really like her early stuff, because apparently it's very country. I like Shania Twain and things like that, so I'd probably like her early stuff. Probably not her modern stuff, because I imagine it's gone poppy and vapid like everything else that gets popular, but her early kind of like country stuff, I imagine I'd quite like. But I don't care enough to look into it. And, like, she popped up everywhere in people fucking hating on her, in articles about what she's doing and what she said and who's working with her. She popped up all the time on the off... Like, pretty much every time I was at a relative's and they were watching television, because I don't watch television, pretty much every time fucking Taylor Swift was on the fucking TV and they were talking about her. She's like... She has made copious amounts of money because whoever's doing the marketing for her is a fucking genius. You cannot escape. Taylor Swift is everywhere. And it was the same thing for Ed Sheeran, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber when he was around, and I ended up hating all of them. If I never had to listen to them, about them, or their music fucking constantly being pushed in my face, I would have no opinion of them whatsoever. I wouldn't care. But the fact that I was never left alone, I was bombarded by their name and their face and their music all the time, I grew to fucking hate them. Because even bands that I quite like now, I used to fucking hate back in the day because they were unavoidable. My Chemical Romance and Slipknot being the fucking top one. Oh my god, how many times do I have to hear The Black Parade? It's a shit song. I don't care anymore. They've done better. It's such a boring-ass song. I even think that now. I quite like My Chemical Romance now. I quite like Slipknot now because they're not fucking everywhere all the time. Fall Out Boy is still shit, though. But... But yeah, like, I have big advertisement campaigns have the opposite effect on me. But yeah, it's case in point, do not sign up to HelloFresh because you will be harassed when you decide to leave because Jesus Christ. But that became a bit of a rant about an overarching issue, but yeah. Anyway, I'm off.